Beautiful morning out today, guys. So news came out yesterday. There was a huge jobs revision in the United States for, I believe it was from March 2024 to March 2025. And it is shocking, guys, and I'm going to play you a clip and then we're going to talk about it.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics released new data to show job growth was revised down for the year prior to March 2025. The revisions show a drop of 911,000 jobs from initial estimates.
President Trump's trade war not inspiring a jobs boom. In fact, it seems to be doing the opposite. Last week's dismal jobs report showed hiring is weak. Just 22,000 jobs added last month. The unemployment rate rose to the highest level in 4 years. And the industries most exposed to tariffs, like manufacturing, are shedding jobs, not adding. A deep dive now into all of this and what this means about the economy right now. Matt Egan's been taking a look. What are you finding?
Yeah, Kate, well, you're right. That was a dismal jobs report on Friday, but it was especially grim for those industries most exposed to tariffs, right? So look at mining and logging. Lost 6,000 jobs in August alone, 7,000 lost in construction. Manufacturing and wholesale trade losing 12,000 jobs apiece in 1 month. And this month was not an anomaly. Apollo Global Management has found that if you look at those tariff-exposed industries, they started losing jobs shortly after this trade war started.
So as you can see here, the revision is a net negative of 900,000 jobs, give or take. I'm sure this stuff isn't exactly on point. However, that's almost 1 million jobs difference than they actually thought they had. Now, me personally, it's felt like we've been in a recession for, I'm going to say, a year and a half. That was just the impression I felt by being out and about talking to people. People are tightening up their bootstraps. They're not spending as much, guys. No one has any money. So even though the stock market in the US and the TSX in Canada have been doing good, the actual economies have been doing dog shit. New to the channel, I am a real estate broker in Canada. I also do buying and selling. I sell on eBay. I sell locally. Helps build my video game collection, and it gives us some extra spending money for, some other things we might want. We're hoping to get a camper next summer and stuff. So, just things like that, guys, just to enjoy life a little bit. We've made it more of a point to not focus on material things so much as travel, just being outdoors, enjoying nature and spending time together as a family, not just sitting in front of a screen. And for that too, winter's kind of dreary around here. Holy crap. It's like a jungle in here, eh? This jobs report. Now, I believe both our economies have been kind of smoke and mirrors for the last couple of years, guys. They've definitely inflated job numbers and stuff to make the economy seem better than it was. Any normal person, if someone was looking for a job or, you're just trying to buy a house or something, you could tell the economies have kind of flatlined here. I really believe the United States is in a recession already. They're just kind of fudge the numbers to not admit that. As for my eBay store, it has fallen off a cliff, guys. I think I've sold one thing in the past couple days, which is really unusual for me. I usually sell a couple things every day, no matter what. And the past few weeks have been absolutely dreadful. Now, I know de minimis has affected that, and I can no longer ship to the United States. So there goes about 30% of my customer base right there, which, is no big deal. We'll see, maybe the next president changes that again. I don't know if they will. If you don't know what de minimis was, you could ship something to the United States under $800 of value. There'd be no duties on it or tariffs or anything like that. It would just freely flow. Something like 1.2 billion packages that went into the United States last year. It was about $60 billion worth of goods, I would say. So for the little mom and pop sellers like me, yeah, it totally just crushed that part of your business. Any Canadian, I'm sure you're probably struggling to switch it up now. And it's not just eBay people. There's a lot of people that have specialized websites and goods that the US was their biggest customer base. And now they just simply can't send the stuff down there. It really sucks. So that's going to cost a lot more jobs too, guys. And up here in Canada, there's been some new reports come out from StatsCan. The amount of immigration that we have taken in here, guys, is, I would say it's broken the country, and that's just my opinion. I have no problem with skilled immigrants coming here. They've been the backbone of our country for decades, honestly. Doctors, lawyers, nurses, construction people, farm workers, everything like that. Absolutely. It's benefited everyone. However, what you're seeing now is it's not just the temporary foreign worker program that's been screwed up. It's an immigration mobility program that most people didn't really know about until last week. And this has been the main culprit. This is where businesses don't have to justify hiring a foreign worker. It's just a workaround to basically get someone in the country for what I would call is a slave wage. They are extorting these people. It's come to light that they are charging people like $30,000 or $40,000 just to get the job to come to Canada. They pay them like, $5 or $10 an hour, basically a slave wage. So now I don't know if it's been predominantly original Canadian companies taking advantage of that part of it, or if it's actually people that have come here recently, found a way to gain the system, scam it, and bring in a bunch of people they know, or bring in a bunch of people and extort money out of them. That would be my guess. You go into any Canadian city, it is a cesspool, guys. My one colleague took her son off to university this week and spent a few days with him in Ottawa, which is not a big city. They say it's around 1 million people now, but it's a very, I would say, still has that small town vibe to it, guys. And she said most of the people she saw on the street were actually homeless, drug addicts, just people like that. And there was hardly any just normal working class people walking around going about their daily business. Now, that's in Ottawa. Toronto 5-6 times bigger than Ottawa. Toronto is scary now, guys. So many home invasions, murders, carjackings, robberies. It's starting to happen in broad daylight. They'll just go into the malls and rob jewelry stores. They don't give a crap. The police aren't really doing anything with it. And then actual head honcho of the RCMP was basically said, oh, just comply if they break into your house. So it's like, yeah, I'm not complying. I'm sorry. I'm not. No one's going to break into my house and do anything to my family. And most people have the same attitude as that. I don't want to get off the rails on that because that might offend some people. And it's not really what the video is about. It's mostly about the economies, guys. You're going to see a big devaluation in our currencies here. It's going to keep going down. The U.S. federal government is pressuring the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates to basically put a Band-Aid on this. But you guys know once the Federal Reserve or the Bank of Canada lowers interest rates, inflation goes up even more because there's more cheaper money in the economies. So it's kind of that double-edged sword where it may make mortgages and car loans cheaper, HELOCs, stuff like that. So when there's more money available in the economy, prices go up on everything and they go up a lot quicker. So I don't know if that's going to help at this point, guys. I really don't know what they can actually do to remedy the problem that's going on here. Out in the United States, they are sending a lot of people back. And I think at some point, Canada, a country that, had about 38 million people in it 4 years ago. Now it's almost 42 million. We just don't have the infrastructure to take that many people in that quickly. We've really kind of disrupted the fabric of our society. We did have a shortage of doctors and healthcare personnel, and it's just been exacerbated by this. And it's the same with all government services, guys. There's not enough police. There's not enough anything to accommodate this many people. It seemed to start right as the pandemic started. There was a dip in net immigration in the country, and they just went hog wild with this stuff. That most of the refugee claimants in Canada are from India and Bangladesh. Now, neither of these countries are war-torn. India is the world's largest democracy. There's a lot of danger for people to be refugees from there coming to Canada. A lot of countries in between India and Canada that they could go to. So it's just been a giant scam, guys. It's not good. Now, if you go on any job listing websites in Canada, a lot of these job postings will say temporary foreign worker program pending and stuff. The wage is usually outrageous on the job posting. Now, what's going on here with that? The wages themselves are basically a write-off in this situation, guys. And I'm not too sure how they're getting around all of this stuff. It just doesn't seem right to me at all. And I know personally from people I know, and I'm not going to mention names, but there is a lot of big corporations, even in our area and around, that purposely hire, temporary foreign workers over Canadians. They personally hire through the immigration mobility program instead of Canadians. And you're seeing everything that's coming to a boiling point here. It's honestly gotten out of hand. I really don't understand how our government's let it get to this point. The only way I can think about it is the United States government and Canadian government wanted that steady upwards growth, and they thought by bringing in more people, it probably would add some jobs and more money into the economy and it keep it pumped up that way. That's the only way I could see them allowing this. I really don't know, but it's just gotten hog wild, and you guys know these companies don't give a crap. They will take advantage of a program. It's all about the bottom line with it, and it's absolutely ridiculous. We should be finding these companies up the ass for this stuff. All of this stuff they've taken advantage of in the loopholes. They got to get closed up, guys, or we're going to be screwed. We're almost screwed in general anyways, because you're seeing in the States, by deporting all these people, it's going to shrink the economy, and it's going to, the exact same thing is happening here. We're not actually actively deporting these people, but a lot of the work permits are expiring this year, next year. So you're seeing the same thing here. Fellow resellers, fellow Canadians, people down in the US, my friends everywhere are watching this. I wish you the best. They get pretty brutal. My advice to you is don't spend money on stuff you don't need, guys. Just kind of take it easy. If you are buying and selling, don't buy a bunch of inventory. I'm not going to. I'm just going to kind of let mine ride out for the Q4 here and see what happens. Not like it's anything super new. This stuff happened in the 80s, the 90s, 2006, whatever that one was. So it does happen every 10 years. I think this one's going to be the worst one in the past 40 years. So just buckle up, guys. And again, I see my battery is dying. I guess I need to purchase some new GoPro batteries. So I'll probably do that today or tomorrow. I only have 3. I've had the same 3 for 3 years since I started the channel. Just want to talk about that stuff and let you guys know how it's been going for me. Like I said, eBay's slow, marketplace slow, everything is slow right now, guys. So I'm not expecting a huge uptick in that. We're just gonna buckle down for the winter, and we got some plans for next summer, and I'll let you guys in on that as the year goes on. Note, everyone enjoy their families, enjoy the rest of the warm weather. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.